You are watching East Tennessee's 24-hour news channel, WBIR TV Channel 10. This is Action 10 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Cahaba Lane is back in the news today. The area where the remains of several women were found recently was the scene last night where a near tragedy was averted. A 31-year-old woman said she was taken to the area by a man named James, who she had asked for a ride from a restaurant on Magnolia Avenue. She said that James took her to the area, parked, and demanded sex, and when she refused, he tried to assault her, then tried to run over her with his car. A group of men is taking a stand against violence. A candlelight vigil was held outside the Taco Bell restaurant on Cumberland Avenue, where a woman was reportedly raped during a robbery earlier this week. The vigil was specifically for men who wished to show their support for all women who had been sexually assaulted. A man who works as a custodian at Lincoln Park Elementary School is charged with the sexual battery of a 14-year-old boy. 31-year-old Lamar Quincy Gibson is in jail in lieu of $5,000 bond. The victim told police that Gibson invited him to his apartment, where Gibson allegedly hugged the boy, kissed his neck, and squeezed his buttocks. A West Knoxville man who's been missing since early last month is back home with his family today. We told you earlier this week that Maryville police were no longer suspecting foul play in the disappearance of 37-year-old Mark Caldwell. Early this morning, Caldwell was located at a visitor center on Interstate 75 near Jellicoe. Police say Caldwell seemed confused and disoriented, but other than that, he's okay. After weeks of waiting, Governor Ned McWhirter has finally gotten the green light for his 10-care health plan. Health and Human Services Secretary Donna Shalala has approved the state's managed health care plan. The approval allows the governor to scrap Medicaid, cover 500,000 uninsured Tennesseans, and give him the more than $2 billion needed to finance the program. The governor says despite opposition from some doctors, the plan will work.
I'll personally call the doctor. And if we need to help negotiate, I'll personally try to negotiate with him. I believe this will work. I believe it'll give people health care in this state, and I know a lot of people that need it. And I really believe it'll help reform welfare in this state.
The governor says 10-care will go into effect on January 1st. South Knoxville residents are calling for changes in waterfront development planned along Neyland Drive. They say the city's new riverfront plan will take the place of a planned interstate, giving residents easier access to the downtown area from South Knoxville. But the city says the planned development will provide access while enhancing the landscape and increasing property values.
Well, the city believes this plan can be of great benefit to everybody that lives here, that the potential development that can go in along the waterfront will be something that all Knoxvillians can enjoy, and will also bring in tourists and additional visitors, and that's going to generate more sales tax, more property tax. It's going to be good for the city of Knoxville.
Opponents say they have been promised easier access to the James White Parkway and Neyland Drive for years. City Council is expected to vote on that issue come November the 23rd. President Clinton is in Seattle, Washington today, taking his campaign for lower trade barriers to a meeting of Asian and Pacific nations. American officials say they hope this week's conference and the approval of a North American trade pact pressure Europe to approve lower tariffs in world trade talks. Heath and Benji Schuler helped to put Bryson City, North Carolina on the map, but they're not the only brother duo from the North Carolina town making waves in Big Orange Country. We're going to show you why today on Live at 5. Also coming up, East Tennessee underprivileged children head to Disney World for a lot more than just a good time. We're going to go there live via Skylink today on Live at 5. And then tonight on Action 10 News, it's the oldest rivalry in the history of Tennessee football. We'll take you live once again via Skylink north of the border to find out the battle for the beer barrel, how it all got its start. And life after football for the greatest ever tonight on Action 10 News. And I do hope you'll stay with us. Todd Howell's up next with a look at the midday weather forecast.
Carl, be good to yourself.
The V.L. Nicholson construction firm has turned in the low bid for the men's dormitory to be constructed on the UT campus. The bid was for just under $3 million for the construction of the 7-story building which is designed to house slightly more than 1,000 male students.
You haven't changed a bit.
No, of course. Well, I know that, and you know that. Apparently that picture doesn't know it. You know, we had some unseasonably warm temperatures last week. Temperatures up in the 70s. Even had one there, I think, where we hit near 80 degrees weekend before.
We did. We hit 80 degrees. That was remarkable.
Yeah, are we going to see it begin to get normal here in the next few days?
Not another mild weekend. We had a string of about 3 or 4 cold weekends in a row. Had a mild one last weekend. We're going to be back to cold this weekend. If folks are heading up to Lexington for the big ball game, take your jackets and blankets and anything else to keep warm. It's going to be cold this weekend. Let's look at our current conditions where we do have plenty of clouds still out there. The temperature is right about 53 degrees, and the winds are starting to kick up some now. They're out of the southwest. They've only been reported right now at about 5 miles per hour, but we're expecting those to increase 10 to 15 miles per hour and be gusty at times later on today. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that for those. If you're going out to area lakes, you might not want to do that. It's going to be kind of windy and gusty later on today, but if you are, be very careful and hold on to your hat out there. We are at 53 degrees. We're going to try to warm up to upper 50s later on today. We'll have a hard time doing that. The pressure is falling, and again, our low this morning was a chilly 36 degrees to start off the day. We did indeed drop down to the upper 30s during the daytime hours this morning, and we're starting to try to warm up to the upper 50s later on today, but again, we have been quite chilly. There's your record high and low for this date in history. Now, our forecast for this afternoon, we are calling for variably cloudy skies. Windy winds will be out of the west-southwest, and they will be gusty at times later on this afternoon. We could see a few showers, particularly up in Kentucky and the northeastern part of Tennessee, but I think most of those will be widely scattered. Again, temperatures trying to reach the upper 50s, and then temperatures will really start falling. For tonight, turning mostly cloudy and cold, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Take a jacket to the ball game tonight, indeed, if you're heading out. 30 degrees for an overnight low, and then when you go to work, or if you have to go to work tomorrow morning, mid-30s. And a few flurries of snow are possible, particularly in northeastern Tennessee, mainly in the higher elevations in the mountains. I don't think we'll see much of those here in East Tennessee. And then by midday tomorrow, 40 degrees, partly cloudy, very cold. Let's look at the football forecast for football games around the region. This Friday night, we have mostly cloudy skies, breezy conditions. Temperatures will be falling. Do indeed take a jacket. Look at all the cold air coming straight out of Canada across the central plains. Now, we do have clearing skies, so we do think this weekend, despite the cold weather, will be plenty of sunshine, and certainly that'll help, but temperatures are going to be quite cool. All this cold weather is heading our way. We do have some clouds trying to work their way through East Tennessee as well, and certainly we'll keep an eye on that. Now, the national radar picture, we'll bring that on up. We do have a few scattered light rain showers off the mid-Atlantic coast. Some of these scattered showers also moving through the region, and we could see a few of those light showers moving in our direction. For later on today, windy and colder conditions. Could see a little bit of light drizzle late tonight, but most of the rain should push through our region. Let's look at the 5-day forecast. Then for East Tennessee, we're calling for temperatures in the upper 50s today, but dropping off this weekend into the middle 40s, trying to warm up some Sunday. It does look like we'll have plenty of sunshine this weekend, but very cold temperatures, and warming back up again by Tuesday. Well, that's a look at weather, and it's been a terrific honor. And I think Byron's got something to say to you there.
All right. Well, you used to work here.
I used to work here, yes.
You?
I still do. Thanks, Todd, for giving us a weather forecast. I just want to say, partner, it's been great working with you for the past 6 years. I want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
I'm going to miss you.
And
you're a true newsman.
Thank you.
And I've learned a lot from you. But I'm going to miss your fun and your goofing off and behind the scenes. And I asked Bobby,
you like that better than you did my professional.
I think so.
Legend,
I think so. Just a little bit. Just a little.
Right.
Bobby Longmire is our art director, and he came up with something for us to give to you, and we want to show you real quickly.
Look at this.
That's about how I feel. I've had a few tears behind the scenes, but I'm not going to tear up right now. But we wish you the best, and it's been a pleasure and an honor working with you, and I'll always remember you. And good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Byron. I appreciate that. It's a tough act to follow. Oh, stay with us. Margie Eisen is up next with a trip back to the golden age of radio, where I came from.
This is the noon edition of Action 10 News with Carl Williams.
The Unit 1 reactor at the Sequoia Nuclear Power Plant near Chattanooga shut down last night after an instrument malfunction indicated a loss of cooling water. TVA officials said the malfunction posed no safety threat. TVA spokesman Clark Reed said the instrument was being fixed today and the reactor should be returned to service later on today. Somebody ought to give that boy a job. You know. Well, it's an era that many of us will remember, of course, fond memories of the 1940s when families gathered around the radio for an evening of entertainment, and we owned one of the Atwater Kent radios, by the way. Margie Eisen took a step back into that era to watch a special variety show. Margie?
I certainly did, Carl. It's the 1940s Radio Hour at the Clarence Brown Theater, a nostalgic look at a radio Christmas cavalcade of music. It's Christmas 1942, and it's up to the cast of a radio variety show to take the minds of war-weary Americans off the turmoil in Europe. Before a live audience, the Manhattan Variety Cavalcade must pull off a lively show of holiday cheer. But everything isn't so cheerful behind the scenes. Director Bob Mashburn says despite the setbacks and snarls, the crew is determined to send sounds of hope to faithful listeners.
They all have an indomitable spirit to get this show on, but they're bunglers, and they get it on without a hitch in the end. And so we get to see something about early radio, which I think is interesting, the theater of the mind, if you will.
Once the show hits the air, everything falls in place. The theater fills with marvelous music, dynamic dancing, and live commercials.
The music is classical, it's light and bubbly, it's fun, it's jazzy, it's feel-good music.
The play opens tonight, and in the spirit of the holiday season, UT Theaters is asking people to bring in canned foods to benefit the Knoxville Area Rescue Ministries. Those who do will receive $2 off the ticket price. And by the way, Channel 10 is one of the sponsors of the 1940s Radio Hour.
Wouldn't you know it?
That's right. Carl, I have another word or two to say, and this is not on the teleprompter, this is straight from the heart. Back in 1969, when Channel 10 extended its Action 10 News to Saturday, 6 and 11, you were the first anchorman that I worked with. I was starting new on television at that time. Do you realize we've known each other 24 years?
I didn't think you were that old.
Neither of us are. That's been a long time, but thank you for your encouragement when I was first starting in the business. We will all miss you here. I guess if someone asked me to say one sentence to sum up Carl Williams, it would be a great newsman of integrity and wonderful service to his community. We love you. We'll miss you. Enjoy your retirement. You deserve it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You stay there. I think we'll be back in a moment.
You are watching East Tennessee's news channel, WBIR TV Channel 10 Knoxville, and the Action 10 News Team. Carl Williams, Moira Kay, and meteorologist Byron Weber. This is Action 10 News at noon.
When I first arrived here this morning, just a little bit after 4 o'clock, it was cold outside. There was a lot of overcast. It has not warmed up too terribly much since then. I think it was about 46.
It's warmed up about 9 degrees.
Is that right?
And we're not going to be as warm. You know, we had that 80-degree weather last week.
That
we
was
were
hard
all
to take, wasn't it?
excited about that. And then this weekend was rather chilly, actually.
Yeah, it was.
We like to talk about the weather,
Didn't we? Oh, yeah.
Carl, I am so thrilled to be here with you today, to be back in the studio.
I'm glad you can come. You were very much a part of my life.
Well, thank you. You were wonderful to me from the first day that I came here. I remember you typing on that old manual typewriter.
Yeah.
You probably still have it.
It's in the building somewhere.
I know it is.
It hadn't been here as long as I have, but it's here somewhere.
Anyway, you have been a wonderful inspiration to me. You've taught me a lot about East Tennessee and about how to relate to people, because no one does it like you do. People have eaten lunch with you for years and have set their watch by you, and you will be greatly missed. But I'm so thrilled for you, because I know that you have lots of outside interests to keep you busy, and you've got a wonderful family. They will be looking forward to spending more time with you, and I know you're looking forward to sleeping in the morning.
I am, yeah. I don't expect to get up any day at all before 4 o'clock.
A.M., right? A.M. Well, I just want to thank you personally
so
for what you've meant to me and for everyone. People can't see, but half of Knoxville is in our studio. I've never seen this many people in the studio, and that's a wonderful tribute to what you mean to this community.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
What am I supposed to do now?
Well, you're just supposed to sit there, Carl. Carl, knowing what a man you are about flowers,
yes, sir.
we'd like to present you with these 37 red long stem roses representing your 37 years in broadcasting in Knoxville. It's an expression of our love to you and appreciation for all you've done. And Bobby Lawnmeyer and Steve Dean have been working on the plaque, and Bobby Dickey has it here that we'd like to share with you.
Look at that.
This says, Carl Williams, from the beginning of WBIR TV, there's been a single, consistent voice. it was yours. Through it all, WBIR in East Tennessee has been proud to call you one of its own. The message you have given us for 37 years, we now return to you. Be good to yourself. You've been very good to us. Carl, we really appreciate it. We wish you the best. And the best thing I can say is that Carl and I have talked and that we're going to keep a relationship. And he's going to be on standby next year. We're going to work on some programming together for perhaps our new cable channel and some other things.
You don't mind if I be human right now?
It's all right to be human. That's one of the things that makes us love you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, it's kind of hard to beat. What are we going to do now? Can we go home? And finally, a closing announcement, if I may. Somebody told me a long time ago, they said, don't ever go someplace to visit and stay so long that you wear out your welcome. Well, I'm going to heed that advice. I came to this station in August of 1956, and every day for the past 37 years, so many of you have extended to me the hand of welcome into your home, and I've enjoyed every bit of the visits that I've had with you. But all things have to come to an end, I suppose. So today, I will be completing 37 years with Channel 10 and a visit with some of the best people in the United States, East Tennesseans. I want to thank all of you so much for your many sentiments, your cards, letters, your telephone calls, personal visits. I've enjoyed them all, and they have been very touching to me. I shall miss all of you. And finally, good health to you, God bless, and be good to yourself today. I didn't see them up there.
That's great.
Come on in. We'll just have a lot of fun. That's all you have to do. Okay. Just enjoy it. All right. Let us do the rest of it. Okay.
Just kind of have 30 seconds.
I'm going to. Thank you.
Come on in and say hi.
Thanks, Rich. I didn't.
I can read out some more people who did
Me? Right. Thanks. Thank you.